I now have the honor to introduce the student commencement speaker, who was selected by the Provost and the Dean of Students through a competitive application and interview process. I'm delighted to introduce our student commencement speaker, Sara Mustafá Hoyos, who is graduating today with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing from our Boston campus. Originally from Columbia, Sara came to the United States to continue her education. She first earned a bachelor's degree in neuroscience, and after working at Framingham Pediatrics, Sara decided to pursue her BSN at MCPHS. Sara served as a peer mentor for 200-level nursing students and recently completed her clinical preceptorship at Boston's Children's Hospital, where her commitment to pediatric care grew even stronger. As a bilingual nurse, she understands how language shapes trust, access, and equity in healthcare. She's particularly passionate about advancing cultural competency with a focus on supporting women and honoring the diverse experiences of motherhood across cultures. Sara now looks ahead to a career in pediatric nursing, committed to advocating for children and supporting families during their most vulnerable moments. Please join me in welcoming our student commencement speaker, Sara Mustafá Hoyos.
Thank you, President Lazard. Good morning, faculty, members of the administration, family, and the graduating class of MCPHS 2025. Standing here today, surrounded by the people who've shared this journey with me, I can't help but feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude, not just for what we've achieved, but for who we're about to become. It's hard to put into words what this moment really means to all of us, our families and our professors. We've all worked so hard to get here, through late nights, long shifts, endless exams, and somehow balancing it all with the rest of our lives outside of school. But standing here, surrounded by my classmates and friends, I just feel so deeply proud and excited. Amongst the group of graduates today, we have future nurses, physician's assistants, dental hygienists, and medical imaging technicians. Despite our different paths, something we all share, what unites us, is something profoundly simple. We all chose to dedicate our lives to helping others. We have chosen to care. We have chosen and promised to choose every day to step into professions that put others first. And that, to me, is what makes this group so special. As a nursing student, I've had the privilege of watching my peers do truly incredible things. I've seen classmates push through exhaustion to show up for clinicals with compassion and patience. I've seen people balancing families, jobs, and personal challenges while still giving their best to every patient, every assignment, and every skill. Every day, I am amazed by the determination and passion around me. You have all inspired me more than you know, and I am so grateful to know all of you and call you my colleagues. To our professors and tutors, you've shown us what it truly means to leave this calling. Many of you started your careers in the middle of the pandemic, when the world felt uncertain and heavy, and you're still here teaching us, guiding us, and caring for others. You remind us that nursing and healthcare as a whole isn't just a profession, it's a lifelong commitment to humanity. Thank you for teaching us the importance of seeing the person behind the patient. To my classmates and friends, I think we all remember those skill checks, the head-to-toe assessments, the sterile gloves that somehow never stayed sterile, the medication administration rights, practicing putting in a catheter on a very scary-looking mannequin, which felt less like a simple checklist and more like we were preparing to launch a space shuttle. And of course, how can I forget the simulation labs? The moment the instructor said, "Okay, who wants to be primary nurse?" and suddenly everyone found something very interesting to look at on the floor, the ceiling, the bottom of their shoe, anywhere except making eye contact with our instructor. It's funny now, looking back, how something that seemed so small felt so enormous in the moment. Our hands were shaking, our hearts were racing, and we were convinced the world would end if we forgot to palpate one lymph node. Now, thinking back, I realized we were nervous because we cared. Because even at the very beginning, before any of us stepped foot in a real hospital, we already wanted to do right by our future patients. That fear wasn't a lack of confidence. It was the very first sign of who we were becoming. I am so proud to stand beside you. We've learned, we've stumbled, we've hustled, and now we get to join a community fueled by genuine selflessness and passion. Going back to school or choosing this path meant long nights, early mornings, and moments when we had to be, somewhat ironically, selfish with our time and energy just to make it through. To our families, friends, and partners, thank you for your patience when we couldn't always be present, for the love on the days we doubted ourselves, and for believing in us even when we were exhausted and overwhelmed. Thank you for cheering us on, for sending encouraging texts, for making sure we ate, for listening to us talk endlessly about exams, rotations, and stories from clinical. For many of us, you are the ones who taught us how to care. You showed us that caring begins at home. We wouldn't be here without you, and this achievement is yours too. Graduates, please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for all our loved ones. I also want to take a moment to personally thank my family. Thank you for coming. You've been my biggest inspiration. You taught me the gift of empathy, to see people for who they are, to listen and to care deeply. Los amo. To my mentor, Dr. Vamel, for sharing your grit, your knowledge, and your unconditional passion for healthcare with me. And most importantly, to my mom. Ma, you have inspired me and taught me to stay driven towards what I want, especially when it's hard. Gracias. As we step into our next chapter, I hope we never forget that dual calling to be both scientists and humanists. To remember that our knowledge heals bodies, but our compassion, our willingness to listen, a smile, a strong sense of advocacy for others, that's what will make a difference. Today isn't just about our degrees. It's our promise to carry forward what we've learned here at MCPHS and to keep making the world a little safer, a little kinder, and a lot more cared for. Because caring, after all, is not only what we do, but who we are. Thank you, MCPHS. Thank you all, and congratulations. We did it. Thank you.
Really nice, really nice.
Should I leave it?
Yeah, you can put it. I'll get it when you're done. Well, thank you, Sara, for delivering this year's wonderful, inspirational message to our fellow graduates. Please accept this plaque in commemoration of this special day.
Thank you so much.
Here you go.